Is Cam Heyward blowing smoke about sitting out week one, or is he serious? On his More Than Football podcast with his co-host asks, "Are you playing week one?" And we'll see what he says.
About him.
Yes.
All right. Anything else we need to know before this game Sunday? What we will? Well, I guess the main question too: will Cam Heyward be out there?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, I love it. Well,
I think Cam is making his feelings known. This is his last-ditch effort at getting a revise on his contract, getting that money moved around that he so desperately wants. And I'm going to say this. Cam Heyward signed the contract. You have to honor that contract, especially at 36 years old. Now, is Cam Heyward aging like Benjamin Button? Yeah, he is. He's actually played some elite football especially last year. Now, the year before he was hurt, and they kind of put him in a situation where, hey, the Steelers organization offered him a contract, and he had to take it because he didn't want to probably turn into the veteran minimum type of guy. So Pittsburgh had leverage in the situation. He outplayed it last year. He outplayed that contract, and now he wants to come back to the table. And if you guys have been following, he spoke on the situation. And according to Cam, he said that when he signed the contract, that he told the front office that after he goes and have an all-pro year, he wants to come back to the table. And they kind of laughed at it. Well, red flag number one is, if that's what you really meant, and this wasn't in just talking and, having that type of conversation where, hey, cooler heads has prevailed and you just have a small talk, that's one thing. But if you really, really wanted that done, it would have been in the contract. Number two, if my agent let me sign that contract, then I'm firing him or her for letting me sign a deal where I feel like I was undervalued. Now, Cam Heyward is expected to make, I think, like $15 million this year, which makes him like the 20th paid defensive tackle, defensive end, and he's performing like a top three. Okay, I get it. But you also have to look at it from the Pittsburgh Steelers perspective. And in a situation where you're 36 years old, and if you pay attention to the Pittsburgh Steelers draft boards the last couple years, they've drafted Keanu Benton. They just drafted Yaya Black. And they just drafted Derek Harmon, who will be out week one. So they're already setting themselves up for the future. And with Omar Khan taking over, what you're seeing is he does not move like Kevin Colbert did. Kevin Colbert was very loyal to the players that he picked, and I'm all for loyalty. That's a great thing, especially when it comes to football. Guys can get cut for, having a tweak in the leg. And if it's a reason to cut them because they feel like they have somebody at the position that's a little bit younger and fresher, they will do that. So I understand that. But we also watched Colbert let Troy Polamalu overstay his welcome. He pretty much let Ben Roethlisberger overstay his welcome. And Cam's at that point too. Like I said, Cam's playing great. But at the same time, Cam is still 36 years old. You want me to revise your contract and you could fall off a cliff week one, week two. So I think what Cam is doing is, being that Derek Harmon isn't playing this week, they're playing the Jets, who has a two-headed monster, and Braylon Allen, and can't think of the other running back right now. But they have a two-headed monster over there, and then you got Justin Fields that's going to do probably a lot of running the ball himself. So if they get gashed this week, Cam Heyward is going to feel like he has leverage in the game. Oh, well, you see how we're moving. We're getting beat up in the run game. But if you had me in the game, that wouldn't have happened. So this is a leverage play by Cam Heyward because he really has nothing else. If the Pittsburgh Steelers really wanted to pay him, they would have paid him through the summer. They would have adjusted his numbers and everything else. I think from the Pittsburgh Steelers standpoint, they're looking at the situation as we need another wide receiver. We just brought in Aaron Rodgers, who's 40 or 41 years old at this point. We got DK Metcalf, but we do not have a true number 2 wide receiver. So they have to keep that money open to see if they can end up making a trade for somebody, or someone may get ceremoniously released where they may have to pay. I mean, look at the situation now in Miami. Tyreek Hill did not get his captain badge this year. So will Miami part ways with Tyreek Hill at some point here in the season? And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers is a team that's monitoring that because Miami may end up paying some of his contract out, and the Pittsburgh Steelers can pick up the rest if that's the situation that presents itself. So they don't want to run and go pay Cam Heyward. And I think Cam Heyward wants a situation where that money that he would get in maybe 2026, they would front load some of that money to 2025. And, you know, I guess they'll rework a deal in 2026. So he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. But you signed the contract. You chose security. You came out and said that. You chose security over, trying to play yourself into a big contract. And it is what it is. You outplayed the contract. But, Cam, you have to understand, you're 36. You'll be 37 next year. Unless it's some fountain of youth that we've never seen before, let me know. Send me the address so I can go there. But if at some point you're going to fall off the cliff. And the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't want to be on the hook for it. And I understand that totally. They're trying to prepare for the future. This is the first time, honestly, in years that the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to get a youth movement outside of Aaron Rodgers. So I think it's just a weird situation the Pittsburgh Steelers are in and Cam Heyward is in. He's played out of his mind the last 2 of the 3 years. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, kind of want to move on. So basically this is his last play. Go on his podcast. He got a lot of people who listen to it that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And, he's trying to make his feelings felt. Mike Tomlin feels like he's blowing smoke. He came out today and said that he expects Cam Heyward to be on the field week 1 against the Jets. Cam Heyward to be on the field week 1 against the Jets. He stands to lose $1 million if he doesn't. I think he's trying to go do the Chris Jones playbook, but Cam Heyward ain't Chris Jones. Cam Heyward is really, really, really good. Chris Jones is great. 2 different things here. 2 different things here. And Chris Jones is also 6 years younger than Cam. Situation is what it is. Cam, you ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Just go play. Be undeniable. And come back to the table in February. That's all you really got, man. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Steelers fans, are you tired of the Cam Heyward antics, or do you feel like it's justified? Leave it in the comments below. Till the next video. Peace.